Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy, which is Proftrof, and we're back again with another intense historian video. Another Sundance rejects, I don't know what that means, but we're back again with another one. Jeff the Killer, Creepypasta. Okay, so everyone's heard about the story of Jeff the Killer. A dude that, draws a fucking Joker smile in his face and goes around stabbing people.
Don't blame me. Blame Honey for sponsoring this video. The Jeff the Killer creepypasta is popular. Really popular. So before Netflix ruins it with a feature-length film, we wanted to make a high-quality adaptation. Before Netflix ruins it with a feature-length film.
No. What is... No. Netflix. No.
We wanted to make a high-quality adaptation. One that stays true to the law. Featuring Jungle Jimmy, Chills from Top 15s, The Vulcan, Skit and Says, and Donut Operator.
Donut.
Jeff
Oi.
the Killer.
They got my boy Donut Operator in here. Oi. That's cool as fuck.
Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Liu couldn't complain though. A new, better house. What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of the neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son." She turns around and calls over her son. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mum, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Liu." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his...
What, bitch? Okay, you get some new neighbors. That's pretty cool. You go introduce your son. How you inviting people to your buddy that you just... to your son's buddy that you just met?
His brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family had done packing, Jeff went up to his mom.
"Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid."
"Jeff," said his mother, "we've just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mum said something, it was final. He walked up to the room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it.
Yeah, that's a lot of picorection in his room.
The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. He sat there, eating his breakfast, and once again got that feeling. This time, it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain. But once again, he dismissed
Is it an erection? What's wrong with him?
As he and Liu finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus.
Lost like a boss.
And then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise.
"Hey, what the hell?"
The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale
I'm not weird. I just...
and ripped blue jeans.
Well, 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 it looks like we got...
Yo, why does this 12-year-old kid sound like he's been smoking fucking 5 packs a day for the last 15 years?
some new meat.
Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny, and the other
Skinny and fatso?
was huge. And the other was huge.
Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith.
Jeff and Liu looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have.
And he's Troy.
A dopey
They looked
face.
over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looks like he hasn't exercised since he was crawling. Zing.
And I
said the first kid.
Am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare if you catch my drift.
Liu stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife.
Where is this? England? What is this shit? Did he pull out a knife? Fuck is this? England? God, where you got kids extorting kids with knives and shit?
On him.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way.
The kid walked up to Liu and took his wallet out of his pocket.
Okay. Listen. No 10-year-old, 11, 12-year-old has a wallet. I got my first wallet when I was 18. You don't have a wallet. You don't need a wallet. You don't have money. Okay, you don't. The reason you get a wallet is because you got money and cards to carry easily. Kids don't get money. You get lunch food or some shit. Not in a wallet. Who wrote this shit? Who wrote this?
Jeff got that feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Liu gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else.
Oh,
Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own
it's
knife.
actually England. They all got knives and shit.
And what will you do?
Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed
What?
and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand.
Well, how did he... has my boy been training jiu-jitsu for like 15 years? How do you just break someone's wrist?
Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped the knife and fell to the ground, screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Liu could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff.
The lad puked.
How did you? That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew that they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Liu made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Liu just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay for the entire day of school. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice,
It was a wonderful day.
That was the ominous voice. It is not different to any
Next
of his
morning,
other
he
voices.
heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find two...
Yo, internet historian needs to stop doing that shit. When he does the little knock, it legit sounds like it's fucking knocking in the real world. Okay, it sounds like my door is being knocked on. That's just scary. No one knocks in the 21st century. Okay.
police officers at the door, his
Oh, it's-
mother looking back at him with
Donut.
an angry look.
It's Donut.
Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids. That it wasn't regular fighting, that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son.
Wow.
Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true.
Mom, they
I
were the
don't
ones
get
who
older, I
pulled the
level
knives
up.
on me and Lou.
Son,
Said one of the cops.
we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us?
Jeff knew it was no use.
Shit.
He could say him and Liu had been attacked, but then they'd have no proof that it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because, truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Liu. Son, calm down, your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids.
Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me.
The cop looked at his partner, and they both nod.
Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie.
Wait, said
Okay, so instead of trying to convince them that the kids started the fight, you just say that you did everything. Yeah, that seems like a lot better of an idea than arguing your case. Just admit to everything.
Liu. They all looked up at him, seeing him holding the knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on
Yep,
Liu.
America for sure.
It was
I'm
me.
joking.
I beat up those little pugs. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle.
Son, just put down the knife.
Said the officer.
Don't do it, don't.
Liu held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. The fuck else would you drop it? He put his hands up and walked over towards the cops.
No, Leo. It was me. I did it.
Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did.
Why does he sound 95?
Take me away. So the police led Liu out to the patrol car.
Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids.
Jeff's mother put his hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Liu. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cops sped off with Liu inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled up into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong.
Son, what is it?
Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him, as Jeff wept in the driveway.
Whoa. His vocal cords were strained from crying. I don't think that's how it works.
The cops have led his brother off, and they've gone, what does sentence him here? Yeah, about a year? Scratching their heads. About a year in juvie? Yeah, sounds about right. Was it you? No, it was...
I'm enjoying not the sentencing. I'm enjoying how much his dad and mom do not give a fuck. It's like, fucking take him. He's a little degenerate anyway. He's stabbing some kids. Fucking take him. We have another one. We have a spare. It's okay. It's okay.
Me, I can prove it. Look, a scratch. That's all we need.
Take the British
Son,
kid away.
You're coming with me. Do I need a lawyer? No, don't worry about that. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed.
Wow.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's
He
quite a
couldn't
lot.
look at them. He just couldn't bear to see how they thought of Liu, when really it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by, with no word from Liu at the JTC. No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. Wow. This really is a solemn moment.
Yes, it is.
Ad time. Here I have $1 and 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents.
Yo.
There you
Yo, those actual Canadian cents?
five.
Yeah, look, they have a fucking beaver or some shit.
5
That's
cents,
pretty cool.
6 cents,
Like Canada equal
7
as fuck.
cents. There you go. But sir, that life-saving medicine for your daughter costs $1 and 8 cents.
What is this
I
an
don't
ad
have
for?
any more money. Sorry, sir. No medicine for you then. Oh God, I wish I had saved more money and hadn't spent full price at a wide range of stores such as Domino's, Gymshark, and Booking.com. Now my daughter, who was going to be the first female president, is dead from whooping cough. Now I will have to pay even more for the funeral. Don't let this happen to you. Get Honey.
Just throw her in
Honey
the
is
ocean,
a
buddy.
convenient little tool that
funeral.
lets you save money
Food
when
for the
shopping
fish as well.
online.
It's good to
It's
the
free, by the
environment.
way. Sign up. Sign the fuck up. It's free and it doesn't give you ads. All you do is click this button and it automatically applies discounts for you on pretty much all the big retailers. This is what it's like. Look how easy this is. Just do it. Get the thing. It has like 10 million members. I need whooping cough medicine for my sick future president daughter. So join honey.com/internet historian.
Oh baby, me so honey.
That is, until Saturday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into the room.
Wait, what's today?
Asked Jeff as he stirred awake. Why, it's Billy's party. He was now fully awake.
Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after.
Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be a good thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed.
Yo, his mom's a
Jeff's
bitch.
mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get herself ready.
She got fast.
He picked out a random shirt and pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? Son, is that all you're going to wear?
Better than wearing too much.
He said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room.
I don't have any fancy clothes.
He yelled down the stairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy.
Wanted dead.
He found a pair of black dress.
What was that dude? That was the wrestler that was thrown by the Undertaker from the top of the steel cage. Mick Foley? Yo, that dude's a fucking monster.
Dress pants
Can't believe
that
he's
he
still
had for
alive.
special occasions, and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only a striped pattern shirt, none of which go with the nice dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on.
You're wearing that?
They both said.
Yeah, that's worse
His
than
mother
before,
looked at
buddy.
her watch. Oh, no time to change. Let's just go, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and at it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults. No kids. The kids are out in the yard. Jeff, how about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Hey, wanna play? He said.
No kid, I'm way too old for this stuff.
The kid looked at him with a weird puppy dog face.
Puppy dog.
Please, said the kid.
Fine.
Said Jeff. He put on a hat and started to pretend to shoot at the kids. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off Liu, until he heard a noise. A weird, rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skaterboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat.
He pulled out a real gun.
Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred.
Hello.
Listen, this doesn't work like that. If a kid beats you up and two of your friends while you got knives, you're not looking at him with burning hatred. You're running away, okay? This kid has like zero preservation, I guess. Y'all know what the fuck I mean.
Jeff, is it?
He said.
We have some unfinished business.
Do you?
Jeff saw his bruised nose.
I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to JDC.
Randy got an angry look in his eyes.
Oh no, I don't go for even, I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today.
As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him.
Bruh, Jeff is a fucking monster. Yeah, this dude has a fucking good future in fighting sports.
Jeff pushed Randy off him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and
Break his
Keith
other
both
hand.
pulled guns out of their pockets. Real ones.
No one interrupts, or guts will fly.
They said, collectively.
Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabbed his foot and twisted it, causing Randy to fall to the floor. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks up Jeff by the collar and throws him through the patio door.
Boys will be boys.
As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy
adults?
repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood.
Adults?
Come on, Jeff! Fight me!
He picks up Jeff and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head.
Fight!
He throws Jeff back into the living room.
Come on, Jeff! Look at me!
Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood.
I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC! And now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year! You should be ashamed!
Jeff started to get up.
Oh, finally! You stand up and fight!
Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while.
Finally! He's up!
Says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens.
Oh.
Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed, and all rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill, kill, kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop as Randy gasps for breath and dies.
What the fuck? Is this some Jet Li movie? What the fuck? He punched his heart out.
Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy.
Oh, the parents are watching this now. I like how his parents were like, hey, honey, is that our son getting bashed across the room by this deranged 12-year-old? It's okay, kids will be kids, honey. Oh, but look, he smashed a vodka bottle with it. Kids will be kids.
Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff.
Okay, at this point I don't know which is even crazier, this or the Harry Potter fanfiction. What do y'all think? This or the Harry Potter fanfiction? Which is crazier?
Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing.
Wow.
Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind as they let out their final rounds of bullets. Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready.
Why does the
Troy
fat boy
swings
have
his
a
knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into a wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burned both of them, and they started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As they lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile.
What's so funny?
Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him.
And he turned around.
As soon as the
Cool
flame
kids don't
made
look at
contact with him,
explosions.
the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Get it? Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him into a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, drop to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flame.
Ah, so they decided, oh, look, honey, the kids have stopped playing. It's time we helped them out.
That's when he passed out.
Several days later.
When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in. Okay, it's a sexy nurse.
I don't think you can get out of bed just yet.
Oh.
She said as she put him back in bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat
Can
there
I insert my
with
tube
no
in the
vision,
nurse?
no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?"
Does
she
he
asked.
look okay, bitch?
Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you, they decided to let Liu go." This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. Bless that tube. "He'll be out by tomorrow, and then the two of you will be able to be together again." Jeff's mother hugs Jeff. It's the most convoluted fucking 4 words I've ever read. How about his mother hugged him? Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes to Jeff. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family, which is to say, Jeff's family. They came to the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed.
"Let's hope for the best,"
said the doctor.
Yo, if your doctor tells you let's hope for the best, I would be scared as a motherfucker. You're a doctor. You're not supposed to hope for the best.
He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face.
Wow, what an amazing mother. Mother of the year right there. Oh no, you're disgustingly ugly, son.
Liu and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face.
What happened to my face?
Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress.
Oh.
His face.
Okay, I don't blame his mother.
It's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. That's not a thing. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now.
Wait,
He
what?
looked back at his family, then back at the mirror.
Oh, whoa. So, I am very confused about why this happened to him. Like, obviously we're gonna have some scarring from a fire if you got fucking burnt to a crisp. But why is he white? And why is he worried? He has white privilege now, so what's the problem, buddy?
Said Liu. It's not that bad.
Bright
Not
bad,
that
fuck,
bad.
what you
Said
mean?
Jeff.
It's perfect.
His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His
Gosh.
parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. "Oh, Jeff, are you okay?"
Okay, I've never felt more happy. Ha! Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me.
He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused all this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity specifically,
yes.
snapped. Now, he was left as a crazy killing machine. However, his
Killing
parents
machine.
didn't know that. "Doctor," said Jeff's mum, "is my son alright, in the head?"
"Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test."
"Oh, thank you, Doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed into a kind of crazy smile.
Okay, Mommy. Ha 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 ha.
His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes,
This is what came in.
said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and stitched.
So they gave him, listen, you are burning. Your clothes do not exist anymore, okay, buddy? Why are they giving him the same fucking clothes he was in the accident with? This was written by a dummy, I swear to God.
Together they took the clothes, they got burned in the fucking fire, and cleaned them of all the blood and vodka and bleach, and cut out the burned bits, and for fuck's sake. Jeff's mother led him into a room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Dun, dun, dun. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother.
I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. "Jeff, your eyes!"
I'm glad he decided to apply some makeup before he decided to apply the knife to his face. Makes sense.
His eyes were seemingly
Now
never
he's
closing.
emo. He's
I
gonna kill
couldn't
all
see
the
my
preps.
face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burnt out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face.
I think that's how
Jeff's
it
mother
works, buddy.
slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going bananas.
What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?
"Yes, son," she said. "Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face." She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. "Honey, get the gun." She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway, holding a knife.
Mommy, you lied.
That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. His
Wow.
brother Liu woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. But as he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up. Before Jeff's hand covered his mouth, he slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Liu. Liu thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip.
Just go to sleep.
To be continued. No, probably not.
Wow. That was absolute fucking garbage. Wow, I must have been remembering. I remember this being kind of exciting when I saw it last, but I might have been looking at something else. I don't know. Because this was fucking trash. What the hell? How did this become so famous? Or was it just famous with the edgy kids? I don't fucking know what this was. I like how the 12-year-olds just pulled up the gats at some point. Like, hey, knives didn't work, let's try guns, bro. Pow, pow. And missed every single bullet. Whatever. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this shit. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Everybody have a nice fucking day.